everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
That's not what we said. These people my age is fucking stupid.
Come on, nigga.
That's not what we said. That's not what we said. These people my age.
So we looking for a story time, right? Mind you, I recorded this video at least about 7 times. For some reason, my video keep deleting. I don't know why. So I did not think that video was gonna blow up to 2 million views. I was just really posting my little content, just my little content for real. But y'all going ham up in those comments. Like, oh my God. I first want to say it has nothing to do with drugs or contraband. I am not that kind of girl, and neither is my family. Like, no, that's not me. Not me at all. So my sister booked us a cruise, right? Me, my mom, and her. And I happened to get on the cruise ship before them. So I went to drop my items off in the room, and I stayed out the room so I stayed out the room for about an hour just scoping out the boat, just trying to get familiar with everything. Once I returned back into the room, I noticed the top bunk was down. Once I noticed, I didn't pay any attention to it after that. So skip it on to the next day. It was time to get off the boat. When you're getting off the boat, you have to have your ID. Where was my ID? In my wallet. What else was in my wallet? My social security card, my credit cards, birth certificates, everything was in my wallet. So you know what I did? I went down to head security and I told them people, hey, the last place I had my wallet was in the room. My wallet is missing. What's up? What we gonna do? You know, and so the man, the supervisor, he was so irritated. He was bothered, like, you bring this mess on my ship? He didn't say that, but just the expression on his face, he was just, you knew he was irritated, right? And so, yeah, so I was telling him, hey, my wallet is missing. The last time I had it was in the room. And he was like, you sure it was in the room? Yes, I'm sure, sir. It was in the room. I said, can you just check the cameras? He was like, no. Before we check the camera, we're going to check that room. Check the room? Cool. You want to check the room? Cool. Because we had already checked the room. We put everything out. We checked the room from top to bottom. We didn't find anything. So he said that they was going to be down there in 10 minutes. 10 minutes came. I did not know they was coming deep like that. What y'all saw in the room, those was just officers in the room. It was more officers outside of the room. Mind you, when they got in there, my mom was asleep. She was asleep. So she rolled over with her cheese whiz and her crackers, and she was just like, whenever y'all get done, let me know, then I'll move. But other than that, I'm staying right here, eat my crackers. My mom, she do not like to be disturbed out of her sleep. One thing about it, she love her sleep. Like, do not bother her when it's time for her to go to sleep. So, mind you, me and my sister, I know I keep saying mind you, but anyway, me and my sister, we in the back laughing, kicking, only because of how my mom was acting. Like, it was funny. Then my sister, she's really reserved. She's like, she's private, laid back, so she get embarrassed easily. She in my ear like, yeah, if they find this bottle, I'm going to be so embarrassed. I'm never going nowhere with y'all. Y'all was just like, even while we was laughing. But then her and my mom had like a little thing the day before too, where my sister had got embarrassed again. I don't get embarrassed. I'm talking fast because I got to go pick my kids up. But, so she had got embarrassed and blah, blah, blah. So 10 minutes later, they still searching everything. Why did the supervisor, the head supervisor, pull out this little compartment? He was like, is this your wallet? At that point, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh, my wallet. Thank you so much. Oh, you found my, honestly, I just wanted to find my wallet. I couldn't find it. I just wanted my wallet so I could get off the boat to enjoy myself. But that man, he was so irritated. I had to sign a paper that saying that nothing was missing. They found my wallet, all this other stuff. And I was just like, I was really embarrassed. I wasn't blaming housekeeper. I wasn't blaming nobody. I just knew the last place I had it was in that room. So more of the story. I know it's not the story that y'all maybe want to hear or whatever. And yeah. But more of the story. Make sure you check your stuff before you go down to head security. And I think as well, they don't want to be liable for that. Because if you're telling them you're missing your social, missing your all your credit cards and your ID. And then my sister, she scared me as well. Because she was like, well, what if somebody stole your stuff to sell your identity? Girl, why would you tell me something like that? You know I'm crazy enough to go down there and tell people, look, I know y'all took my wallet. But I didn't say that. I was just telling them that my wallet is missing. So, more of the story. Make sure you look thoroughly before you go down there and tell them people that they stole your wallet. Because you don't want to get embarrassed like I did. All right, that was it. That's it, y'all. Bye.
Yeah, so all that for a stolen wallet or a lost wallet. She said it was in a compartment. I'm trying to figure out what kind of compartment it was, you know. But this video has like 9 million views right now. Yeah, it's at like 9 million views, which is, you know, crazy because people really going in the comment section. So, and it's people that's making comments that's really, the comments are so crazy. And the likes are even crazier. But it's crazy how the mama just sitting there on the bed and just doing her own thing, and they just searching through the whole place like everybody. It's crazy. People like, they don't search this hard for them damn bed bugs. I feel like if gardening was allowed on cruises, then there would be less drunken accidents on board. And she has spray cheese. Oh, she enjoying the show. Mama laying on the contraband. She ain't moving. So anyway, before anybody told the story, that's what happened. So long story short, short story long.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week. Girls say